Saturday Sun. I Met Someone. An Adrienette High School Alternate Universe Fanfiction. Chapter 5. It's worth a shot. Marinette could squeal and jump around in joy, but she still tries to maintain some semblance of professionalism. But seriously, it's so lucky that the school-wide fashion show is now approved. It will take a lot of planning, though. Do you think you're all ready for that much work? Their teacher sponsor asks. Marinette looks around to her fellow student council members, and they all seem to be in agreement that they can, in fact, pull it off. Their teacher nods and takes a few deep breaths. Alright, in that case, the fashion show will be closer to the spring semester, or else it will interfere with the homecoming dance. On that subject, does anyone have any theme ideas? It's immediate chaos as people practically shout out ideas. Marinette sighs and massages her temples. Luckily, they've planned enough homecoming dances before, so this shouldn't actually take that long. We can do an American, 1950s idea with, the big hair and the music, someone says. It's a good idea, Marinette has to admit, but she doesn't know if the rest of the student body would actually like it. What about an underwater theme? We'll have more lenient decor and stuff. All good ideas, truly. Marinette only sits and listens, thinking about how possible it is to do all these themes. Perhaps the underwater one is the best, or the fantasy land? The only thing plaguing her mind, though, is actually the fashion show. She's just really hoping that she'll get the chance to lead that planning on that, because, well, one, she was the one to bring it up, and two, she simply adores fashion, and that is no secret at all. Normally, life goes just her way, and she runs into the blonde boy by happenstance, but today, she has to make it into some coincidence on her own. Her eyes dart around looking for him in the courtyard. One would think his pure blonde hair makes him striking enough to stand out from a crowd, but nearly everyone has light brown hair, and with his back turned to her, he looks like everyone else. Some luck, though, is clearly on her side, because the striking green of his eyes, a color that she has noticed no one else has in their eyes, not even a little bit, catches her attention. She nearly runs up to him before he can be swept into the crowd and away from her line of vision. Adrien! He turns around at the sound of her voice, and when he sees who's calling him, a brilliant smile passes over his features. His hands tighten on the strap of his book bag, which is slung over his left shoulder, and peers down to make eye contact. Marinette grows a little nervous about the piercing gaze, but tries to push past it. Hey, she says, a little breathless for no good reason at all. Hey, he greets her. What do you need? I just wanted to say thank you. Adrien looks confused, thoroughly confused, but smiles nonetheless. For giving me the idea of doing a fashion show fundraiser, she explains quickly. It just got approved. His entire face lights up, and there is a little voice in her mind that screams about how adorable he looks right there in that moment. Oh, wow, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you, Adrien cries out with joy. Marinette blushes, trying not to dwell on how genuinely invested and happy he sounds for her. Thanks, but it's really all you're doing if you really think about it, she admits, tucking her hair behind her ear nervously. You're putting it all together, right? He points out, and she nods. So, it's on your achievement list? Marinette shrugs. Let me know how the plan's going. I'm rather excited to see the turnout, Adrien says with a laugh. He waves goodbye to her before disappearing into the dissipating crowd of people. She can only guess that he's walking towards his car, since this is the complete opposite direction to the subway station. Since Tiki has kind of forced her to confront her emotions, her crush on Adrien has really, really grown. She's been getting more and more distracted by him in class. Is it necessarily a bad thing? Her lovesick mind argues that no! Her staring at him and listening to his tone inflections when he has answers to a question is totally, definitely, in no ways a bad thing. However, her late at night self that's trying to rush through all the homework and papers she didn't complete throughout the day does bite back that no, this is not a good change. She just can't help it though. Adrienette knows she's got it down bad, and it's almost funny at this point. The crush has really grown out of hand. When she takes a look back, she realizes just how much she liked him even before she admitted it, and then it grew by tenfold. Adrienette doesn't even want to bring up the entire fashion line that she designed based on his eye color alone, because it sounds like she's freaking crazy. She's kept it a little secret from her real life friends, because if Nino ever heard of its existence, she'd die of mortification immediately, because he would never let her hear the end of it. Hey, you and Agress are pretty good friends now, aren't you? Adrienette feels someone bumping into her side, and when she turns, she sees Nino with a toothy grin on his face. She rolls her eyes at her friend and gives him a little shove. All out of love, though. Yeah, we've been talking more ever since the project, Adrienette admits as they begin to walk towards the station. Clearly, Nino snorts, looking back behind them as if Adrien was just about to appear out of thin air. My man's pretty shy, and he's been friendly to you, Nino explains, shrugging as if it's not information that just completely shifted Adrienette's worldview. She wants to stop and scream and squeal and drop to the floor and act like the most dramatic person on earth, because what? If he's normally a shy person, but he's strangely open to her, does that mean he might like her back? No. That's crazy to think about. He can't like her back. Or could he? Oh, Adrienette says, trying to hide her internal freakout. Yo, has Rose talked to you about the big group homecoming idea yet? Nino says. His off-the-rocker and sporadic brain strikes yet again, and this time it saves her from embarrassment, because her mind is definitely lingering on the possibility of Adrien liking her, or at the very least, wanting to get to know her more than the average person that he meets. Because she's told me her very elaborate plans, and I was like, dude, I'm not the person you should be talking to about this. Adrienette snorts at that. Oh, and here I thought you were the most organized of us, and therefore the planner of the group. She teases him. Nino sticks his tongue out at her like a toddler. She mirrors him. She can see some of the shocked or disappointed looks on the faces of adults they pass by. It only makes her giggle, because what else are they gonna think she's gonna do? Be mature? Of course not. It's way more fun to act like a kid. Haha. I mean, I could if you really want to. No! I've got it covered. I'll talk to Rose about it all, though. Adrienette? The second she hears her voice, her head shoots up. This is a rare sighting, as usually it's the other way around. And his voice is saying her name, and his voice saying her name just makes her heart beat faster, and makes a dumb smile just start to spread on her face. She fights to keep it from overtaking and tries to seem welcoming as he rushes over to her, seeming slightly winded. Hey, Adrien, she says, feeling the nerves and butterflies and feelings all swirl up inside of her. Is there something wrong? No, it's fine. He shakes his head. I just wanted to ask how you're planning for the fashion show is going, he says, with genuine interest. Adrienette's eyebrow raises in surprise. He wants to know how her planning is going? Odd. In fact, it is very odd, because most people don't enjoy planning, much less listening to it. But then again, Adrien is an odd person. God, why does she like him so much? The way he laughs in such a timid manner, and the way he smiles at the ground like it's a whole new world to him, the way he holds his attention and eye contact in one person and always wants to make sure everyone feels heard. Adrienette knows she's got a pretty face. Fair skin, the clear green eyes, a winning smile, and hair she'd give anything to run her fingers through. But he is so much more than that. He's someone who gives his all to everyone else, and she just fell hard for him without really meaning to. It's going well, Marinette admits with a laugh as she bites her lip nervously, but Adrien doesn't even seem fazed. I've been just doing some rough sketches of looks and general layout of the stage and stuff. Can you show me? He says eagerly. Or, explain it? There's a small part of her that worries that blabbering on and on about a fashion show might scare him off, and therefore any notion of him possibly liking her back. But there is a much larger part of her mind that just can't give up the chance to talk about something that combines two of her favorite things, organization and fashion. Of course, Marinette says, tugging at her sketchbook and flipping to the tab. Here, we have the layout of the gym I want for us. Luckily, it'll cost very little, so we'll have maximum output for the fundraiser profits. Adrien nods to let her know he's listening. I'm toying with the idea of changing lights, so, when there's a designer change. I think it'll really add something special to the show, too. Make it worthwhile. And you could make a video showcasing that, Adrien points out. Like, when you do a dress rehearsal, have Nina record and edit together some bits so everyone sees how cool it is and how it'll go. It's a fabulous idea, and she tells him as such. You should really join student council with me. She teases him with a laugh. All of your ideas are amazing, and I think we'd all agree on them much faster. Marinette sighs and drags a hand down her face. You wouldn't even believe how long it took for us to decide on just 2 theme ideas for homecoming dance. Adrien laughs a bit and shakes his head. I'm more like a once-in-a-while, good ideas will strike kind of person, he says with a sheepish smile. Marinette giggles. Well, you're 2 for 2 right now, so I have faith. They chat and laugh and talk for God knows how long. Marinette's never been very good at keeping track of time, evidenced by her perpetual tardiness, but she seriously has no idea how long they've been talking. It feels like hundreds of people have passed by them, and many more have come and gone from this park. But Marinette cannot be happier, and her feelings are growing through all of this time, faster than even she thought was possible. It seems like the sky is getting brighter and brighter every single time he laughs, and she's scrambling to make him laugh again. Since there's enough of us, it'll be worth it to take us to pictures, dinner, the hall, and then back to wherever we decide to go next, Marinette says, trying to explain her idea for their homecoming plans. Adrien is joining their group this year. She could not be happier about it. She and Rose have been toying with the idea of pairing everyone in the group up with a date, and Marinette prays to whatever celestial being is out there to let Adrien be hers. I think only I have the connections to make that happen, Adrien says with a little laugh and smile. Marinette only gapes at him. My family knows some people with the limo. Well, then that's not a reason not to make it happen, she explains. Adrien laughs and nods. Marinette feels his fingertips brush the top of her hands, and all of her breath has disappeared from her lungs. His touch isn't electric or like a lightning strike like how some of her other friends explain it to feel like. Instead, it feels deep and meaningful, and dare she say it, right. It warms her inside in a strange and wonderful kind of way. The black-haired girl tries to play it off as casual, like she doesn't still feel his lingering touch on the surface of her skin. But it charges her, and suddenly she wants to be wrapped up in his arms in a giant hug, and she wants to know what it's like to feel. She wants to know what it would feel like to be surrounded by him. Her mind is swirling with thoughts and making all of the blood rush to her face. Adrien's talking and she's a bit distracted, but tries to listen as best as she can, trying hard to ignore the internal screaming in her brain because, oh my god, he's sitting closer, oh my god, 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 I want to kiss him so bad. Yeah, she says in an airy voice so he knows that she's at least trying to pay attention. She can only guess he knows that how spacey she's being because his lips curl up into an amused smile before he continues talking. Her face is red and she tucks her hair behind her ears nervously. But really, this is the best thing to have ever happened to her. And when she feels his fingertips brush against hers again, she just has to know this isn't an accident.